Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to IAS Origin. This is Anubhav Deepani, faculty at IAS Origin. Today, we are going to start a very important topic of polity and constitution, which is related to your GS paper 2. And that is your one of the most important constitutional body, that is the Union Public Service Commission itself. Okay, so many of the students are basically confused related to this particular scenario, that UPSC examination is a kind of an examination. This is a kind of a very big misconception here. Why? Because UPSC is not an examination, but UPSC is basically a kind of a constitutional body which conducts many types of different examinations. Okay. Civil services examination is one of the type of examinations which are conducted by UPSC. Besides civil services, there are many examinations such as Indian Engineering Services or Indian Economic Services, Indian Geological Services, Indian Medical Services. So UPSC is a constitutional body which comes under article number 315 to article number 323. And under this particular articles only, you see UPSC as a constitutional body. First of all, we need to understand that how many members are there in UPSC. In UPSC, there are always 9 or 11 members. See, the members are actually fixed in UPSC in an odd category. For example, if the UPSC members could have been or would have been 10 or 12 or 16 in even number, so that means if there is a kind of an internal dispute in UPSC members or among UPSC members that which decision should be taken or which decision should not be taken, so there will be an internal voting among them. And if there is an even number in UPSC, so there could be a tie between them. To solve this particular problem, Constitution of India and parliamentary resolution decided that the numbers of UPSC members should be in odd, so that if there is a voting, there should be a result in with ratio of at least 60 and 40. So all these 9 and 11 members, all of them are appointed only and only by the President of India. And President of India do appoint these members on the advice of Council of Minister and Prime Minister. Now, please understand this thing very clearly, that the advice given by the Prime Minister and Council of Minister is actually binding on the President of India. Now, there might be a confusion in your mind that if the President of India is the executive head, and if the President of India is the first citizen of this country, so why there is a kind of a situation here that president has to follow the advice of Prime Minister and Council of Minister? That is because of two different reasons. Number one, Indian government or Indian parliamentary system is actually under the parliamentary system and not under the presidential system. See, try to understand. There are two types of government in the world. Number one, parliamentary system, in which the Lok Sabha members or the lower house members or member of parliament are elected. And the leader of those majority member of parliament is basically chosen as the Prime Minister of India. That's why the executive head is the President of India. Each and every work is done in the name of the President of India. But even then, the decisions are only and only taken by the Prime Minister and Council of Minister, but in the name of President of India. This is reason number one. Reason number two is the reason of 1976 Indira Gandhi Constitution Amendment. When Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India in the year 1976, there was a constitution amendment, and that was 42nd Constitution Amendment 1976. Under that particular Constitution Amendment, it was decided that each and every advice given by the Council of Minister, headed by the Prime Minister, will be binding on the President of India. That's why whenever you see that any of the advice which has been given to the President of India and that is binding on the President, that is only and only because of that particular 42nd Constitution Amendment 1976. There is one more important thing related to this 42nd Constitution Amendment. That is, this particular 42nd Constitution Amendment is also known as the mini constitution of India. Why? Because 54 articles were kind of changed under this particular constitution amendment. You can basically also say this one thing, that this constitution amendment has been the largest constitution amendment or heaviest constitution amendment in the history of Indian constitution. That's why this particular 42nd constitution amendment is also known as the mini constitution. And according to that particular constitution amendment only, each and every advice given by the Prime Minister and Council of Minister is binding on the President of India. Now, please try to understand that if these 9 or 11 members, if these 9 and 11 members are basically appointed by the President of India, but what are basically the qualifications here? You need to understand this perspective in two different manners. The first 50% candidates qualification is given in the constitution, that they must have the total experience of at least 10 years in the state government or in the central government. For example, if you become an IAS officer or if you become a civil servant and you basically enter the central government or state government ecosystem and you fulfill or complete your 10 years of experience, so at that point of time, you are qualified to be selected, elected, or appointed as the UPSC member. But if we go basically for rest of the 50% member qualifications, so that those qualification is actually not given in the Indian constitution. That means rest of the 50% members qualification is not given in the constitution. That means if you are not even in the central government, if you are not even in the state government, let's say you are a politician or you are a journalist or you are an educationist or you are a social worker, but even then somewhere directly or indirectly, if you are connected to the field of education, even then you can be appointed as the UPSC member or UPSC chairman. Now, this particular second point does not even only tell you about the polity, it also tells you about governance also. There is governance also in GS paper 2 mains examination, as we all are aware about that. And in governance, we study a topic of transparency, because wherever there is lack of transparency, there are basically highest chances of corruption. And in the second qualification of 50% members, where the qualification is not given in the constitution and the qualification will be decided by the Prime Minister and Council of Minister, later on they would be giving the advice to the President of India. Here you see a proper scenario or a proper case of lack of transparency. Now, please try to understand. If there is a person who's very close to central government or very close to any other minister, and that particular person has been giving many favors to the central government, and central government wants to reward that particular person. So in reward or in basically on behalf of that reward, that person itself can be appointed as the UPSC member or chairman. So this is the particular scenario where you basically study this particular thing in governance also, because lack of transparency actually gives the nutrition to corruption. Besides that, if besides the qualification, if you talk about the tenure of UPSC members or UPSC chairman, you need to understand there are again two qualifications or two different scenarios of tenure here. Number one is basically the tenure of 6 years, or number two, till the age of 65 years. Till the age of 65 years. Please understand this point. Suppose if you basically are appointed as the UPSC member at the age of 55, okay, at the age of 55. So which condition will be coming first in front of you? You will be completing your 6 years tenure, or you will be turning 65 at the age of 65. So 6 years tenure will be completed by you first. That means 55 plus 6, and you will be retiring at the age of 61. That means 6 years tenure will be completed by you. Or let's say, let's take a very different scenario here. if you are basically appointed as the UPSC member or chairman at the age of 62, so will you be able to complete your 6 years of tenure? No, you will not be able to complete your 6 years of tenure, but you will be just completing 3 years of tenure, because after 3 years you will be turning at the age of 65. So whichever condition comes first in front of you, 6 years or till the age of 65 years, whichever condition will be early in front of you, that will be your tenure. Either you will be completing your 6 years of tenure or you will be completing your 65 age. But there is one more situation here. What if you get retired from the post of UPSC member? After then what? See, there are many different rules related to after the retirement scenario. Let's take four different situations here. Okay. Let's say the very first situation is you get retired from the post of UPSC chairman. This is the first scenario here. Second one, let's say you get retired from the post of UPSC member. Let's say the third situation, you get retired from the post of state PSC member. And the fourth situation is you get retired from the post of state PSC chairman. Now, there is one more difference here. First of all, you need to understand what do you mean by State Public Service Commission. Like at the central level, there is Union Public Service Commission, which conducts the Central Civil Services Examination. In the same way, in all the states, there is State PSC or State Public Service Commission, which conduct the State Civil Services Examination. So, the retirement age of UPSC members or chairmen is 6 years or till the age of 65 years. But the retirement age of state PSC members or chairmen is only 6 years or till the age of 62 years, not of 65 years. So let's say if you are retired from the post of UPSC chairman, after that, you cannot be reappointed in UPSC again, neither as a chairman nor as a member. Forget about UPSC. If you get retired from the post of UPSC chairman, after that, you will not be appointed as the member or chairman of any other constitutional body. That means your government job career will be end after you retire from UPSC chairman post. But let's come to the second scenario. What if you basically get retired from the UPSC member post? If you get retired from the UPSC member post, you will be having two options. Either you can be reappointed as the state PSC chairman, or you can be appointed as the UPSC chairman. Now, please try to understand why this scenario is going on. If you are retired from the post of UPSC member, you cannot be reappointed on the same post again. This is the rule of the constitution. Number two, if you were the UPSC member, then you cannot obviously be appointed as the state PSC member, because state PSC member is basically a degraded post in front of the UPSC member. And after retirement, the appointment cannot be done in a demotion level post. It can only be done in a promotion level post. That's why if you get retired from the post of UPSC member, either you can be appointed as the UPSC chairman or you can be appointed as the state PSC chairman. Let's come to the third situation now. The third situation is if you get retired from the state PSC member. So you cannot be reappointed as the state PSC member. You can be appointed in rest of the three posts. Either you can be appointed as a state PSC chairman or UPSC member or UPSC chairman. But if you come to the fourth scenario, that if you get retired from the post of state PSC chairman, then you cannot be reappointed as the state PSC chairman and you cannot be appointed as the state PSC member. But in two posts or under two posts, you can be reappointed either as the UPSC member or as the UPSC chairman. This is the scenario. But now let us come to a very complicated scenario or very complicated situation, that what is the removal procedure of UPSC member? Removal procedure of UPSC member or chairman. Now particular procedure is kind of easy, but complicated as well. If you are a UPSC member or chairman, first of all, you need to understand that why you will be removed. What would be the reason that you will be removed from your post? There might be actually two reasons. Number one, incapacity. And number two is misbehavior. Incapacity means the kind of expectations were there from you or were there with you, that you will be bringing some of the reforms in UPSC, you will be bringing some of the productive changes in pattern and syllabus and etc things, but you could not do it or you could not perform well. That means the expectations from you as a UPSC member or chairman was very high, but you could not fulfill those expectations. So this is what we know as the scenario of incapacity or incapability. And second reason could be the misbehavior. That means if you do anything which is not under your protocol or which was not told to you to do it. Like, for example, if you were doing the corruption, if you were doing some malpractices, or if you were leaking some of the secretive information. So, this thing will be basically known as misbehavior. Or if there is a question mark on your character, there could be thousands and thousands of definition of misbehavior. The definition of misbehavior do change uh, situation by situation or condition by condition. So there are two reasons of removal of UPSC chairman: incapacity, incapability, or misbehavior. Okay, once the reason has been approved against you, so here the President of India, now please listen to the removal process very carefully. The President of India will ask or make a request to the Supreme Court of India to do a particular investigation on the particular UPSC member or chairman. Fair enough. Now, the Supreme Court of India will do the proper investigation. When Supreme Court of India will do the investigation, and then Supreme Court of India will prepare a report on your misbehavior or incapacity. So Supreme Court of India will be preparing a report, and there could be actually two results in the report. Number one, the UPSC member or chairman could be found guilty, or number two, not guilty. If UPSC member is found guilty, according to the report of Supreme Court, so the Supreme Court will give the advice to the President of India to remove the UPSC member. If it is there in the report that the UPSC member or chairman is not guilty, so the advice which will be given to the President of India by the Supreme Court, and that will be not to remove the UPSC member or chairman. And please note this point, that whatever advice will be given by the Supreme Court of India to the President of India, that particular advice will be binding on the President of India. It will be completely binding on the President of India. See, you might actually feel while studying Constitution and polity that many of the things are binding on the President of India, or all the decisions are binding on the President of India. This is actually not the scenario always. Why? Because there is something what we know as discretionary power of the president. Discretionary power means the kind of decisions which are taken by the President of India on his own. There are some of the decisions where President does not take the advice from any of the Council of Minister or Prime Minister. One of the example of discretionary power of the President of India is appointing or nominating the 12 members of Rajya Sabha. We all know that in Parliament there are basically two different houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, which are also known as House of People or Council of States, which are also known as lower house and upper house. So in Lok Sabha, we know that right now there are 543 members, and in Rajya Sabha there are 245 members. Out of 245 members, 233 members are indirectly elected by the state MLAs or union territories with the legislative assemblies. But rest of the 12 members of Rajya Sabha are not elected by the states or union territory. They are directly nominated by the President of India under the 4 different fields, which are known as art, literature, Science and Social Service. So this particular decision taken by the President of India is not on the advice of Council of Minister and Prime Minister, but this is a kind of a discretionary power. So please understand this particular term also, discretionary power of the President. So discretionary power of the President is that power under which the President of India can take the decision on his own, and he does not need to take advice from any of the Council of Minister or Prime Minister. But this particular scenario, that is removal of UPSC chairman or removal of UPSC member, is not the discretionary power of the President of India. In this particular procedure, it is binding on the President of India that President of India must follow the guideline or advice given by the Supreme. Number one. Now, this UPSC is a constitutional body, but have you ever noticed or thought that under which ministry UPSC comes? UPSC basically comes under the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pension. In 2014, the Minister of Public Grievances, Personnel and Pension was Mr. Ajit Singh, who was the Member of Parliament of Lok Sabha from the Lok Sabha constituency of Jammu. But today, in 2024, if you see that who is basically the minister, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the Minister of Public Grievances and Pension only. Okay, the Prime Minister of India, the Prime Minister of India can have a ministry of more than one ministry. Like, for example, if you notice in 1971, Indira Gandhi was not just the Prime Minister of India, but she was also the Defense Minister of India. So here the Prime Minister can also have more than one ministries. Please understand this particular thing. So if there is a question in your prelims examination or for a general knowledge also, if you are being asked that in under which ministry UPSC comes, so your answer should be Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pension. Now there is one more interesting thing about this particular ministry, and that is that this particular ministry was established in the year 1985. Okay, this ministry was not there under parliamentary ecosystem since 1950. It was established way later on in 1985, guys. But what about the UPSC? UPSC was officially established in India in 1926, exactly before independence, 1926. And this UPSC, which is working here right now in 2024, conducted its very first examination in the year 1927. So let's divide the time period of UPSC into two different parts: before independence and after independence. So before independence, or before our constitution was implemented in the year 1950, UPSC was a body and it used to come under the Britishers or British government only. No problem with that. But what about from the year 1950, when the Constitution of India was implemented in the year 1950? At that point of time, UPSC was established as a constitutional body. But in 1950, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pension did not exist. So under which ministry UPSC used to come before 1985? It was Home Ministry. That's why many of the candidates get confused because of this fact, and they write it today also that UPSC comes under Home Ministry itself. Okay, and this is not the scenario. Before 1985, UPSC came under Home Ministry, and in the year 1985, this UPSC was transferred from Home Ministry to Ministry of Public Grievances and Pension. And this is not just the scenario of UPSC, this is basically the case of many other bodies also. Like, for example, if you can take the example of CBI. Many of the people get confused that CBI also comes under Home Ministry. No, CBI does not come under Home Ministry. CBI used to come under Home Ministry before 1985. But just like UPSC, CBI was also transferred to Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pension. in the year 1985. So this is basically your constitutional body, UPSC. Now there is one more thing here. Please understand this point. Just like UPSC, just like UPSC, there is a removal procedure of state PSC also, guys. Now we have also discussed a bit of the things about state PSC, that the state PSC uh, is also there, which conduct the state civil services examination. Now let me just tell you some of the things related to state PSC also. See, in UPSC, the number of members are decided 9 or 11. But how many members are there in state PSC? There are 28 states in India, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh. So there are 28 states right now. Okay. In all the 28 states, there are state PSCs. Okay. Now, how many members will be there in the state PSC? It is decided by the governor of that particular state, guys. So the rule and regulation related to the members of UPSC and state PSC is very, very different. The members of UPSC are fixed 9 or 11. But how many members will be there in the state PSC? It is not fixed by the Parliament of India or by the Constitution of India. It is only and only decided by the governor of the respective state. So if you basically take the example of few of the different state PSC, like let's take the example of Madhya Pradesh state PSC. How many members are there? Near about 17. Or if you basically go for Maharashtra PSC, there might be more than 17 or less than 17. If you go to Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Goa, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab. So the members of each and every state and each and every state PSC are different. Now, all these state PSC members, now state PSC members are not appointed by the President of India. They are appointed by the governor of the state on the advice of the Chief Minister and State Council of Ministers. But the appointment, if the appointment process of state PSC members are different, so does this mean that the removal procedure of the state PSC members are also different from the UPSC members? No, this is the twist here. Please try to understand these two things. One is similar and second one is not. The appointment process of UPSC member and appointment process of state PSC member are completely different, because the UPSC members are appointed by the President of India on the advice of Prime Minister and Central Council of Ministers. On the other hand, the state PSC members are appointed by the governor of the respective state on the advice of Chief Minister and State Council of Ministers. Now, this thing is completely different in both of the PSCs. But what about the removal procedure? The removal procedure of UPSC and removal procedure of state PSC. These two removal procedures are exactly the same. What I mean to tell you is that the state PSC member and chairman are appointed by the governor, but they are removed by the President of India only in the same procedure. That means for the removal of the state PSC member, the reasons will be same. That is the incapacity or incapability or misbehavior. And after that, the President of India will request the Supreme Court of India to prepare a report on that particular allegation on state PSC member. On that particular request of the President of India, the Supreme Court will prepare a report in which again there will be two conditions of either guilty or not guilty. And according to the advice of Supreme Court of India, President will take the final decision. And here also the advice of Supreme Court of India will be binding on the President of India. So this is basically your constitutional body UPSC and comparison of UPSC with state PSC. Now please remember one more thing also here. The articles of UPSC and state PSC are exactly the same. Here on your screen, you can see that we have written the articles of UPSCs from article number 315 to 323 in the same manner. The article of state PSC also is exactly the same. That is from article number 315 to 323. So you do not have to remember different articles for UPSC. The articles are very similar. Like for example, the appointment of UPSC members is article number 316, and the appointment of state PSC member, it's again article number 316. If you go for the removal of UPSC member, that is article number 317. And now if you go for the removal of the state PSC member, it is again article number 317. One more notable point which you have to remember. Just a minute. And the Just a minute, everyone. So in the same way, the removal procedure of the state PSC is also article number 370. Now, there is one more important thing which you need to remember is that UPSC and state PSC, they prepare an annual report. They prepare an annual report and they submit it to the President of India and the governor of the particular state. So you need to understand this point here, that UPSC prepare an annual report. Okay. And the UPSC annual report is submitted to the President of India. And then that particular report is forwarded to the Parliament of India by the President of India. In the same manner, the state PSC also prepares an annual report, and state PSC submits its report to the governor of that state, and then governor forwards this report to the state legislative assembly. So please do remember that these particular annual reports are also very important, and they are basically presented to the President of India or just a minute, guys. President to the India or the governor of the state. Just give me a moment, please. So this was basically the whole of the detailing related to your constitutional body of UPSC and state PSC, guys. Okay. So now, as we have studied this particular different thing related to this particular important constitutional body, let me just tell you few of the things now. Now, all these type of lectures will be very regular on the platform of IAS Origin. But if you basically want to study all these subjects with the same type of detailings related to other subjects like polity, governance, internal security, etc. So you need to follow few of the things. Number one, IAS Origin provides you free workshop. IAS Origin basically provides you free workshop every Sunday and demo classes also. Because IAS Origin needs to tell you that IAS Origin is one of the best online platform for the preparation of this UPSC Civil Services examination. If you want to attend the free workshop of IAS Origin, which is basically held on every Sunday, and free demo classes, which are going to be started from tomorrow only, that is 13th of May. So for that, what you have to do is you have to go and have to contact the IAS origin official number, and then you can basically book your seats. You can basically book your seats and come for the demo classes. Each and every detail related to your demo classes, related to your live classes, related to your free workshop, each and every detail is there in the description, which is there given in the link of this particular video. And you can just go to the link and you can search each and everything related to that. Okay. Now, let me just tell you few of the important things related to the IAS origin classes. See, IAS origin basically provides you the classes of three different types. That is basically your silver classes, bronze classes, and your gold classes. In all these particular different batches, we provide you different facilities with some kind of extra privileges. For example, if you choose the bronze classroom of IAS origin, which will basically cost you 27,000 rupees for the whole particular syllabus and preparation of prelims and mains, and there will be one more option in front of you for the EMI classes, that is 3,000 rupees per month for silver badge. In silver badge, you will be basically provided unlimited recorded access to the live classes of prelims and mains examination. Now, this is a very important thing. Live classes will be given to you for the prelims and mains. And if you basically miss some of the classes because of your unavailability, so later on, basically, you can have the access to your recorded lectures, and that will be the unlimited access. Like you can basically watch those videos once, twice, thrice, 10 times, 50 times, or more than even 100 times. Does not matter. Then in the silver classes, there will be unlimited doubt resolution through your email. Then answer writing sessions will be there by the experts. Daily current affair PDF will be there. CSET classes, economic survey classes, budget classes will be there. Group discussion will be held on the platform. But personally, my two favorite batches are your silver and gold batch. The silver batch price is 43,200 rupees and the gold batch is 72,000 rupees. Now, please understand how and why silver batch is better than the bronze batch. In silver batch, you will get everything what you were getting in the bronze batch. That is the live classes of prelims and mains, recorded access. But here the doubt resolution will be done by the email also, and it will be done by the WhatsApp also. Besides that, there will be prelims test series in the silver batch also with a detailed solution. And there will be mains test series with the detailed solution, and personalized timetable will be provided to you. See, we know that each and every student has a different timetable or daily routine. Many of the students are college going students. Many of the aspirants are already doing a job somewhere. So it is very tough for maximum of the students to manage their timetable. Right? So how to manage their timetable? What should be their timetable? When they should study, what to study, what not to study, each and everything related to your journey. Mentors and your guide will be helping you properly, and they will be providing you personalized timetable. That means IAS origin will be doing the analysis of your daily routine, and according to your daily routine, we will be providing you the kind of timetable which you can follow very easily. And if you follow that with dedication, there will be highest chances of clearing this particular examination. Besides this, we will provide you GS hard copy study material. See, this is also kind of a confusion of many aspirants, that what is the book list, what are the resources, from which of the book or content we should study. IAS origin has solved that problem very particularly. IAS origin tells you that if you join our silver batch, you do not have to purchase any book. You do not have to purchase any content. You do not have to go anywhere else for the study material. IAS origin will courier all the GS hard copy material to your address, to your permanent address where you live. We will be sending all the material to your place. You just have to sit at your home. You have to attend the live classes. You have to watch the recorded access. You have to get the guidance from the mentor, and we will be sending you the hard copy material, and you just be at your home and study everything. That's it. But the most important batch which IAS Origin basically provides you here is the gold batch. See, in gold batch, how gold batch is now better than silver and bronze batch? We'll be providing each and everything which was already there in the bronze and silver batch in the gold batch. But besides that, there will be extra topper sessions with you. Individual student strategy will be there with you. One-to-one mentorship thing will be with you. Group mentorship will be with you. And the most important thing here, that is the doubt resolution classes, which will be there with the mentor and the faculty, will be by the email, will be by the WhatsApp, it will be on the phone call, and you can basically have a video call with your faculty and with your mentor. And on video calls also, you can basically clear your doubts. See, the kind of privilege or the kind of facility IAS Origin is providing you is very, very unique in today's market. Like if you are studying any of the GS subject like polity or geography from any of the faculty, and if you want the time of that particular faculty for clearing your doubts after the class, it is kind of very, very impossible. But IAS Origin is providing you that particular unique feature. Let's say you guys were studying with me polity GS or GS paper 2 in the morning session, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. In the evening, you were revising my particular lecture at 6 p.m. and now you have got some doubts. And if you want me to connect with you, I'll be connecting with you after the class also, and I'll be personally solving your doubts. The faculties and the mentors will be personally solving your doubts. So please understand this point, that silver batch and gold batch is one of the best batches of IAS Origin if you basically want to clear this particular examination. Let me just tell you how you basically need to purchase these courses. If you go for the bronze batch, the fee is 27,000 rupees. For the silver batch, it is 43,000 rupees. And for the gold batch, it is 72,000 rupees. If you think that this amount is too high or you cannot basically pay it all at once, so you can basically go for the monthly EMI scheme also. For example, if you want to go for the bronze batch, so you just have to pay 3,000 rupees per month. That's it, per month, and it will be easy for you. Now, if you basically want to go for the silver batch, so you just have to pay 4,800 rupees per month. And for the gold batch, you just have to pay 8,000 rupees per month. So you have basically two different options. If you want to go for the one-time pay, that is also better. And if you are not able to do that, you can just opt or go for the monthly EMI scheme. It does not matter which way you choose, one time pay or monthly EMI. But in both of the situation, whatever promise IAS Origin has made to you, those promises will be fulfilled. That is live classes of prelims and mains, unlimited recorded access, doubt resolution directly through faculty and mentors, answer writing sessions by the expert, daily current affair PDF will be shared to you, CSAT classes, economy, survey classes, budget classes, group discussions, prelims and mains test series with solution, GS hard copy material will be given to you, personalized timetables will be there with you, topper session will be shared with you, individual student strategy, and one-to-one mentorship. So if you think that IAS Origin is basically that particular platform through which if you can make your UPSC civil services journey easier and successful, do join us, because we all are here to make your UPSC journey easy. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon in the IAS Origin live online classes. And I'll see you in the next video for all the details, how you can basically get your admissions, how you can purchase your courses, how to get connected with your mentor. Please go to the description. The link is there. go for that link. The official number of IAS origin is there. Go and connect to that particular IAS origin official number, and each and every doubt which you have related to this examination and how to crack this examination, each and every doubt will be solved on that particular number only. And if you want to take admission, and if you call that particular number and you want to be connected with me on the call, that facility will also be available with you. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon in the classes. This is Anubhav Deepani. Thank you so much.